Welcome to the NJ1ST podcast. My name is Ryan McDonald, host of the NJ1ST. And with me, I have Joe Miller. Thank you for joining me today, Joe.
Of course. Thank you for having me, Ryan.
Thanks for coming back. We've had him on once before, have a free speech discussion, free speech platform. He was a candidate just this 2023 November elections. He's going to give us some insight on how it went, but also how we can prepare for the future elections. And that's what I like to hear, people taking the initiative and starting early and preparing rather than just, going in a couple months before. So what do you got planned for us? A PAC, right?
Yeah, correct. So right now, I ran, as you said, I ran for state assembly in District 5, as well as my school board seat in Audubon, New Jersey. And what I saw was just a lot of attacking. I saw a lot of personal attacks in just even a nonpartisan race where there was no need for partied organizations really to have any ground and any say in. So I felt that there was need for a conservative movement really to begin as well, just because I saw that it was all Democrat, all liberals, just spewing hate and everything. And I feel like the parents had to have a voice. So I started a political action committee called BoardVoice, and what we're focusing on is really just parental rights and making sure that the parents have a say in the student's curriculum and all school board elections, just so they know that each candidate actually does stand for and what each candidate will do if in office and if elected.
Thanks. And I do have numbers to back up our parental rights movement that we've had here over the last 3 years, but some places throughout New Jersey didn't have that much of a strong one. It sounds like where you are, they have a lot of Democrats in Camden County. Is that where is it located? Where did you run?
Correct. Yeah, it's so Audubon. It is in Camden County, and
Audubon.
basically
Okay.
all of Camden County right now, is a Democrat stronghold.
And before you tell us about your board of election race that you just had in 2023, you were an incumbent, you were on the board, but for 2021, these statistics that I'm about to recite, the first 2 years come from Arise, New Jersey, and then the 2023 this year comes from New Jersey Project. So in 2021, there was about 300 grassroots parental rights advocates that ran, and there was 142 that elected in 2021. That started off the parental rights movement in New Jersey. In 2022, there was like 610 that ran under Arise New Jersey with Josh Akins, and 550 were elected in 2022. That was a big year, and Josh Akins wore that on his sleeve. He even got awarded a Sussex County award for his great work that he did.
Yeah, that's
And
fantastic.
now in 2023, New Jersey Project took it over because Josh Akins ran for assembly himself and had some bigger and better things as well. He did a lot of work, but New Jersey Project reports that 467 candidates ran for common sense, parental rights, and 315. These are big numbers. These are great wins. So people might not realize that every year, right, Board of Election is up for re-election, right?
Absolutely, every year. Yep, on every year in the board of ed, there's always 3 seats up. There's always 3 seats up on the board. So, and really, any just parental rights activists can get a hold of their board and get some policy changes.
But how to go for down by you in your race? Was there
So
that wave, or was there
it's
a
just
counter
hard.
wave?
Yeah, I guess because really just in here, it's such a Democrat stronghold in Camden County that people really they're getting kind of focused on the attacks in a sense and really not looking into it themselves and not attending the board meetings and getting involved and really just reading what they see online for a
Mm-hmm.
sense.
And
I
me and you
mean,
before. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, you're fine. I was really just going to say, like, really, where there's organizations like Districts for Democracy getting involved and really, because the NJ Project, they got involved, yet they didn't have any attack ads or anything going into the communities and just knocking on doors and saying, don't vote for this individual. While Districts for
Mm-hmm.
Democracy was doing that, I just feel there's that interference like that shouldn't even be withstood in the state. It just shouldn't even be stood for.
Or at least combated against. Right. There's got to be fire against fire in a sense.
Exactly. Like we can't just let them go and do it themselves. We need to make sure that we have some sort of line of defense against it.
And just to finish up this shaping of the narrative that we just went through, I agree that the media and even the Democrats themselves came around at the last second to support the parental rights. In a sense, they were against Murphy, and that made their attack ads so much more, I guess, viral because
Absolutely.
yeah. But the BoardVoice Political Action Committee, I guess it's an action.
Yep.
That's the sense we want to be active. So people will be able to donate their money to you guys, and you guys will be able to help candidates, right? That's the whole point of a PAC, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's the whole point, is to get funding in that we can give that to candidates across New Jersey that want to speak up for the parents and want to get elected and make sure that the children are protected.
That's good. I really don't see Board of Ed PACs pop up. I think notoriously always congressional PACs or lobbyist PACs always pop up every single year, even in the state of New Jersey. But I haven't seen Board of Ed one, so that's great that you're taking that initiative. And
Yeah, because I feel
yeah.
like we need to get local. We need to get to the local elections and it's built from the ground up, not from the top down. It just that's how we gotta get successful, especially in like areas like where I'm in, where it's just where it's so blue and they just have such a grip on everyone.
And if you don't mind me asking, the way that you want your PAC to appear to people, is it as Bill Spadia is trying to have the moniker of common sense? It's across the aisle. It's not necessarily conservative, not necessarily liberal. It's across the aisle. We're all in this together. Or is this the defender of parental rights, the defender of conservative values, someone who's looking for candidates who are like that, strong, stalwart? If you'd like to touch on that.
So yeah, we're always open to having anyone from both sides of the aisle come and just be involved with the PAC and being involved with our mission. However, I do feel that in most of the sense, we will see that mostly aligns with conservatives and conservatives' values. It is aligned as a Republican political action committee, so it will be mostly just conservative, but we are totally open to any Democrat, any party affiliation that feels that they want to help with our mission and our cause.
Hey, that's good, because if you want to stand for something, you can't let other people in and change the way you think. But up here in North New Jersey, there was an event that occurred with the Board of Ed election, and it had to do with basically their affiliation with the NJGOP, that they held state committee positions. It was Nick D'Agostino. He lost in his Sussex commissioner primary, but he went for his Board of Ed reelection, and he got in trouble. He got in trouble for free speech, in a sense. The conservative Sussex Republicans up in North Jersey didn't like that he was being so vocal. So they tossed him off the ticket. He got tossed off the ticket. And if you're tossed off the ticket in Sussex County with the Republicans, you're at threat. You better have a lot of support. It looks like he did. It looks like he did, but he bent the knee. He bent the knee, but I understand why, because the whole point of Board of Eds is it's supposed to be nonpartisan, right? But I agree with you that there has to be a conservative pushback,
and it has to, and
yeah.
and the thing is, it was I believe, like, at heart, it still is nonpartisan. When I ran in 2020, elected in 2020, it was completely nonpartisan. There was no interference, but then I saw it progressively getting more and more partisan, to the point where even I think it was just in 2022, we had one of our county commissioners, Jeffrey Nash, endorse Voorhees School Board of Education candidates. So, and then when I saw that happen, that's where I felt they overstepped. And at that point, there's no holding back. They're not holding back. So why should we hold back at all?
Right. If they're playing the game, you got to play as well.
Exactly.
And people who are listening right now, this is your chance to get involved in New Jersey activism, New Jersey politics. If you call yourself a conservative, I necessarily don't wear that title. I'm an independent. Someone like Joe Miller does, and he wants people who are conservatives to come help him. So how can people get in contact with you, Joe, to help you down in Camden County specifically, but anywhere around the state? If they want to expand BoardVoice PAC, how can they get in contact with you? And we're going to keep talking, but how can they find you?
Yeah. So it is so easy to get in contact with us. We do have Facebook as well, just email and our website. Our website's boardvoicepac.com. Our Facebook's BoardVoice PAC. And then our email is just boardvoicepac@gmail.com. So either way, we're pretty easy to get in contact with. And even on our website, if you'd like, you can always schedule a meeting with us and do a Zoom call or video chat with us as well.
Do you know off the top of your head the contribution thresholds?
I know
Like how much
per
cash,
individual,
whatever?
it's 200. I would need to check the exact amounts for any corporation or organization.
Mm-hmm. Okay, just wondering. Yeah, yeah. And that's better for people, so they know that their money will go a long way if it's individuals, and that's what's going to make up the parental rights movement. I haven't really seen any con Inc., as we like to say, any incorporations coming in. They tried to say that Moms for Liberty had a little bit of that, maybe, but to be honest, there's so many more grassroots organizations. For every one county chapter of Moms for Liberty, there was at least 4 or 5 other local parental rights groups that had their own Facebook groups. So,
Yeah.
but it's yours is going to be a local push as well, right? Local
Yeah, it's
conservative.
gonna be we're definitely starting local right now and just seeing what impact we can make around here and then just start going from there, really.
Okay. Anything else on the top of your head for the PAC that you're running, the Board of Ed elections? What's to come for 2024? I guess I have actually one thing, but that's regards to political parties. I guess that there's chairman elections coming up in 2024.
There
So
are that.
if people want change to happen at their Board of Ed level, you best believe it also has to happen at your county party level.
Absolutely. You need strong and unified leadership to have any success in your county.
And I guess just any other, because you're experienced in this with being on the board of education yourself for a while. Anything, words of wisdom for other people who maybe it's their first term? Let's put it that way. They just won their first term. They weren't even thinking that they would run for politics or even be in a government position. In a sense, it's local government a year ago, but now here they are. Anything that you can give them as advice?
One piece of advice would be really just to stand your ground. I know a lot of times, especially if you're outnumbered and you're on like the governance committee and you're the only registered Republican on governance committee, there will be a lot of policy that they'll try to pass, and you may just be outnumbered in the vote and it may get passed, unfortunately. But you really have to keep standing your ground, making sure you say you vote no to different curriculums that are passed, different budgetary restraints, anything that you feel that even if you're outnumbered, just don't go rubber stamping anything. Just make sure
Mm-hmm.
you're fully aware of your impact because the public's watching, and it's your duty to the people.
Okay, great, great. That's good words of advice. I have one last question that I can think of, unless something else comes to my mind. Up here in North New Jersey, we had a gentleman named Guy Citron, and he ran for assembly against, I believe, like John DeMeo or something like that, maybe even Senate against Doug Steinhardt, but there was no chance of him winning. But he went to the Board of Ed, he gave his 2 cents. And I hear now a lot from Democrats, them saying that that this LGBT curriculum really wasn't a curriculum at all, that there is no teaching going on. There's no sexual teaching of to kindergarten, and there's no books. There aren't these books that exist in the school. What do you have to say to people who might be saying, things like that?
So it all like your board does have a say to not have that curriculum in their district. However, like at least in ours, I did see recently while I was still elected and everything in the last year that there was a curriculum change where we actually had to vote on human relationships being taught in the 2nd grade. And really at that point, that is there are aspects of it where it's the LGBTQ curriculum where we're teaching, where specifically there's some parts about marriage and just aspects that really aren't 2nd grader friendly. It just really isn't. But and that was in our local district. It may not be in every district, but it is happening in some districts throughout the state.
More to the reason why people have to get involved in their local and pay attention, because things will be slipped in at the middle of the night and at the last minute.
Exactly. They'll just slide it right through if you're not paying, and they do. They just slide it right through, rubber stamp, and no one bats an eye because they don't know. They just don't know
Right.
what's going on.
So we can finish there, or if you'd like to keep going and talk about some of the Department of Education stuff that's going on, or just finish there. Let's finish here, and then we could just talk. And yeah, okay. So thanks, guys, for coming on in the NJ First podcast. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Joe Miller, and everyone. Look up BoardVoice PAC, and thank you for watching.
Thank you for having me.